Hey everyone, welcome back to Shop Life. We're actually underneath the 1 Series track build. We did the whole rebuild of the front end when it was wrecked. But yeah, now we're finally actually doing some real track modifications. So to start out, we actually have some of the stuff already pulled off. We're filming DIYs on a lot of these things. So we've got part of the exhaust removed. We still need to remove the rest of the exhaust, and we're gonna drop the full rear end in order to install all of the M3 limited slip differential, all of the coilovers and all that stuff, all of the goodies. So let's get on with it. We've got my helper behind me. I don't know what he's doing, but he's gonna be helping us today as well. He's gonna be taking off some of these covers and all that, and hopefully he learned something. I'm not really that great of a teacher unless you see me on video on my DIYs, but that's because my editor does all the magic. So let's just get to it. Ready? Take off all of these covers. So we're up at the drill. The drill's up there. There's a 10mm socket on there. You're also gonna need a 13. See the 13? Right next to it. Yeah. So the 13 is gonna be on this, that one bolt, and the rest should be 10. So there's nuts, there's a couple of bolts, and make sure you don't lose anything. Got it? All right. Let me get my chair. I'm just messing with you. I'll work too. Remember that 113 in the front. So what I'm doing is I'm actually removing all these rubber grommets from the actual muffler section, since we already have the other section removed. I hate doing these. Some of these, like I can remove just with the bolt, like the one in the front, and there's one right here. But there's one that actually goes to the back bumper support, which is this back one. And that's just a royal pain in the ass.
Kill it.
Why kill it?
It's a spider. Ew, are you holding it?
On there.
Why not? Where's the little thingy? Right there.
Oh my god, Gato! Gato, where is it? Oh my god!
It's a freaking spider.
Oh, where did it go, bruh? You're not.
It ain't gonna kill you.
Right.
Stop. Is it in my hair?
No. We lost it.
Look at my hair.
It's not in your hair, bro.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not in your hair.
Stop recording, bro.
Speak up or.
Got it? Yes. All right, exhaust is off. Now we're gonna bring the car down. Or actually, we'll pull the drive shaft off first. Then we'll bring the car down, undo the e-brake lines from inside, and then the brake lines, and then start pulling everything off.
You ready? No, look.
Oh! Finally ready to come out. We've got all the connectors unhooked, brake lines are unhooked, drive shafts unhooked. It's actually pretty easy to get these rear ends out because the brake lines and everything, they're all attached just at one spot before they run along the subframe. There's only a few connectors with the leveling sensor and all that. Even the shock, you can leave it hooked to the body, We're gonna be removing it because we're gonna be putting coilovers, but for now I just unhooked it from the subframe itself, and yep, that's pretty much it. Now we just gotta release the 4 bolts that holds the whole subframe in. There's no like trailing arm separate mounts like how the E46 has. All of the stuff is just attached to the subframe and just 4 mounts that you have to release the bolts. Pretty easy. One out. We'll put one jack here, and we'll put another jack on the other side. And then I'll take off the other 2 bolts. Alright, now I've got 2 bolts holding it in place. One on that corner and one on this corner. So now I'm gonna just put a jack right here and a jack on the other one, and we'll lower them together once all the other bolts are out. So I was getting stuck on the lower shock mount. I'm just gonna go ahead and remove the shock from inside the car since we need to do that anyways.
Boring.
Caro's not here, you can't see. Caro's her sister, by the way.
Yeah, Gato's my sister. So you have to pull off all that?
Yep, everything's gotta come out.
Inside too?
I sure hope
The whole rear deck?
no. I think we'll be fine just taking this trunk carpet out and we should be good. Alright, so both shocks are out. We're off of the upper mount. Now we just lower the subframe and we should be good. The whole reason we even pull the subframe and everything out is because we want to put the whole M3 limited slip differential from the E90 M3, and we want to have, you know, the upgraded half shafts, upgraded brakes, rotors, the whole hub and all of that. So we bought a whole M3 rear end, the whole complete subframe and everything. The issue that we're having though is that car was hit. It only has 47,000 miles, so it's very low. But turns out that on the driver's side, all of the arms are for the most part bent. So since they are bent, we would have to buy all new arms. We'll have to also buy the arms on the other side to do both sides. But I've already ordered all of the M3 solid rear bushings, the differential bushings and all that. And another issue with this M3 subframe is you can see all the rust. So it actually came from New York or New Jersey, one or the other. And there's just like, you know, rust on all of the seams, wherever it was welded. Even right here, wherever, like, you know, it scrapes every now and then. Just a lot of rust. With that's not that big of a deal. I'm sure we can just wire wheel it off and coat it. But you can see this arm was broken. That's probably from when it was, you know, lifted with the forklift. But all of the arms on this side, so all these other 3 control arms and guide rods, they're all bent. So chances are the subframe might have a little bit of, you know, a tweak in it, and I can't really tell with my eyeballs. We won't know until we put everything in and then go get alignment. So this drive shaft is actually out of the 1M. So this is a brand new drive shaft we got from BMW. The 1M drive shaft is a little bit different. So if you have, let's say you have a normal 135i, but you have to have the one with an N55 in order to use this drive shaft and have it completely bolt in. So now if you had an N54, the manual transmission on the N54 is a little bit different. So even if you were to put the M3 or 1M rear end in there, you would have to get a custom drive shaft made. But since we have the N55, the transmission is a little bit longer on the N55, and this drive shaft will bolt right in.
All right, so now I know the comments are gonna say, why didn't you just get an M?
Try find a 1M and then let me know. If you find a 1M for under, let's say 20 grand, a decent good one, then we can talk. Those 1Ms are just so hard to find. They're really rare. And I mean, if you're gonna track, like I said, this is gonna be a track build. It's still gonna be on the street as well, but why would you, buy a 1M and ruin that on the track? This is the perfect way to do it. This has the N55. I know the 1M came with the N54 that was kind of souped up, but this N55 is very capable. It's also very reliable. And it's just, he won't feel bad if anything happens to this when he tracks it or whatnot. You don't get that feeling, And another thing people are gonna say is, why even go through all the hassle of putting the M3 rear, the diff in, when you can just get an aftermarket limited slip? That's also very possible. The pricing will be somewhat similar, but I mean, we're just, like I said, this is gonna be a street-driven track vehicle, not completely only on track duty. So this differential should hold up just fine. And he got a pretty good deal on the whole rear end. All right, so now we're finally getting ready to prep this subframe. That way we can put it into the 1 Series. This is the one that we bought, the whole M3 rear end. I've already got the differential and everything removed. Only thing we have left is all of these arms, and we gotta figure out something to do about all of this rust. So it's not horrible per se, but all of these seams and stuff, I think we're just gonna wire wheel it down, and then we'll just coat it with some undercoating or some paint. We'll figure that out when we get there. We're also gonna be putting solid bushings and changing out all of the differential mounts, putting poly ones for those, and all of these arms are also gonna get replaced. So let's just take them off first, and then we're gonna have our helpers go ahead and do all of the wire wheeling. That way we can work on something else. One way, when it starts going that way, you gotta force the opposite way.
Like this way?
Yeah.
Like push it down?
Yeah. All right, take that off. There you go, and just push it out. And then always put this back the same way that it came off. That way you remember how it goes. Alright, so what we're gonna do is, wherever you see this brown stuff looking things, that's rust. I'm sure y'all took science, so y'all know what rust is. So we're just gonna get rid of all of this rust. You see how this is starting to flake up a little bit? Just get it on it a little bit more, make sure all the rust is gone, wherever you see it. Don't worry about the bolts are fine, because we're gonna put new ones on for those anyways. Just everywhere else. Alright, go to town. There you go. You got all your little bling on and shit. Don't get it caught in the drill. Tuck it in. Tuck in your bling. Wherever the rust is, that's how you want to do it.
So not like this?
Sideways?
Yeah, you want to do it sideways. You don't want to go like this, because that's not going to do as good as this.
Wow.
Put it on properly, otherwise it won't get in your eyes.
So while they're doing that, we are installing this downpipe.
Yes, VRSF Downpipe for the N55. So the main reason we're installing this downpipe is we're gonna be turning up the boost on this 135i. And whenever you have cats, it is restrictive. And usually whenever you do like, if you wanna shoot flames or anything like that out of the exhaust, you're gonna blow the cats out. So we're just, putting the downpipes on. Whenever we do the tune, it's gonna give us a little bit more extra horsepower as well. And just, make it sound better. Well, that's subjective, but we can also blow flames. So it's cool.
Let's just continue filming this and they'll continue doing that.
Yes, get it ready for paint.
What the hell you got on your face?
I told you.
Like sister, like brother. Y'all get more dirty than y'all have to do work.
You already dirty.
Don't front.
Bruh.
All right, it's installed.
Told you.
So we got the subframe for the most part prepped and ready to go. We do need to buy the paint still and just do a few more touch-up spots, but we'll probably continue that in the next vlog. But in the meantime, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I did want to give a quick shout out to Samantha Rakiram and her family. Hope they're doing well. Also for everybody else that does watch these videos and supports us, everybody is always going through something. I know Samantha's family is going through something. Her birthday is also coming up. But hope you guys are doing well and take care of yourselves. See you guys in the next video.
This is what I call the 2 for 1. This is the new trick shot. Hold on.